Things have changed when it comes to cruise ship dining this year. New rules, extra charges, as well as new promotions and discounts to take advantage of. Making some of these cruise mistakes can mean missing out on better food, wasting money, or just not getting the best cruise experience. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're anything like me, you love cruise food. And cruise dining is a big part of your cruise experience. Now, even though there have been some changes, there are some ways to navigate this so that you have the best cruise dining experience and that you do not make any of these cruise dining mistakes that are catching not only first-time cruisers, but experienced cruisers alike. Now, I really want this video to be helpful, so not only are you going to hear about the changes, but also some tips and tricks that will help you out in the main dining room, the buffet, specialty dining, and room service. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Cruise dining mistake number one is assuming that cruise dining still works the way it used to, in particular in the main dining room. Now, in the past, the main dining room was fully included and did not have any extra charges for any additional items. However, in 2026 and beyond, there have been some changes. Now, it is still mostly included. However, some cruise lines have now added extra charges for select premium items, lobster tails, and extra entrees, which is the newest change that can catch you off guard if you don't know. Now, don't worry, there's no reason to go hungry or pay out of pocket. Now, here are the details that you need. If you're cruising with Carnival, there is an extra charge for a third main dish. So you can order two, but when you get to your third entree, there is a $5 charge. If you're cruising, however, with MSC or Norwegian Cruise Line, you are allowed to have one main dish, and there is a $5 extra charge for a second. Now, cruise lines do say that this is to reduce waste, but remember that they do want to accommodate you. They want you to be satisfied. So if you're not happy with your meal, let your waiter know, and they will usually gladly exchange it. Now, at this time, these are the only three major cruise lines that are imposing these limits or extra charges. However, there is one exception, and this is lobster night. While a few years ago, lobster tails on lobster night would be unlimited, these days most cruise lines, if they do have it, limit the lobster tails to one or two per person. However, something that you can do, it's a little bit of a tip or a trick, is that you can order more than one entree, and this way you can have your lobster tail as a surf and turf. Or if other people at your table are not ordering lobster tails, you can always bring those for the table. And something that can go a long way is be polite and nice to your waiter. And you never know, if there are extra lobster tails, they may just bring you some. Now, here's mistake number two, not taking advantage of all of the free or included items at the main dining room. So even though we have a couple of cruise lines that are charging extra for entrees, nobody at this time is charging anything extra for the appetizers, the soups, the salad, or the dessert. So some things that you can do is order more than one appetizer. And honestly, this is very common. So do not feel shy, or order some appetizers for the table. Or even what some people say is they may skip the main dish altogether and order two appetizers as a main dish. Off-menu items. Now, a lot of experienced cruisers know about this, but if you're a first-time cruiser, something that you might not know is there are some off-menu items that you can always request. Now, some of these include a fruit plate. When it comes to the dessert menu, usually you will see some of those cakes and other decadent desserts, but if you want something a little bit healthier, or you just want to have a fruit plate to accompany your dessert, you can ask for this. Now, something that we like to do is ask for a cheese plate. The cheese plate may be on the dessert menu, or sometimes it's not even, but we do often ask for this as an appetizer, as we really do enjoy it. Other things that cruise passengers ask for include chicken noodle soup, items off the children's menu, an extra plate of steamed vegetables, and even Indian or curry dishes. Now, when it comes to requesting off-menu items, do keep in mind that these are requests. They're definitely not things that are guaranteed, and they may not be able to accommodate you that evening, but oftentimes they are able to make arrangements for other evenings in the dining room. Not paying for specialty restaurant dishes in the main dining room. Now, something that you'll notice on the main dining room menu is that oftentimes you are going to have a couple different specialty restaurant dishes that are available in the main dining room restaurant. As an example, a filet mignon. Now, if you go to the steakhouse, that might cost you $50, $60 plus to go to that restaurant. But if everybody else in your party doesn't really want to go and you would really like to have that steak, ordering it may cost you anywhere from $10 to $20, and it will be well worth the money. Now, I would love this video to be a resource for other people. So any extra items that you've ever ordered or any tips and tricks, please leave those down below in the comments. Not communicating food allergies, dietary needs, or even simple preferences. Now, a lot of people, I think especially first-time cruisers, just aren't aware that cruise lines really are great when it comes to dealing with allergies and dietary needs. Now, if you do have an allergy, it is best to let the cruise line know before you get on board about this. You can do this through your travel advisor or through a forum on the cruise line website. However, once you do get on board, talk to the maitre d' and remind the waiter as well. Now, something a lot of cruisers just aren't aware of is you can ask for items to be modified. So if you want a different side dish, or even if you have a preference not to have a sauce on your meat, or even if you don't want your items to be as salted as they are, just let the waitstaff know. Not asking your waiter for recommendations. Now, your waiter may not necessarily tell you what he or she thinks is good. But something a lot of experienced cruisers know is the waiter does know which dishes are popular, which dishes are sent back to the kitchen, and even which dishes are a little bit of a specialty of the chef. Now, as an example, we were on a celebrity cruise in the past, and our waiter let us know that on this cruise ship, the soups were absolutely wonderful, and the chefs on board really prided themselves on this. And I have to say, after having the soups, we definitely agreed. Going straight to the buffet on embarkation day. Now, the buffet itself is not actually a mistake, and I will share a little bit more on that later. But it could be a mistake on embarkation day. That is where most cruise guests are going to go. However, there are usually some alternatives, and honestly, they're going to be less busy, less crowded, and it's going to give you a little bit of a downtime on a pretty crowded day. Now, check for the different options. This can include the main dining room, some of the casual venues. So if you don't want that sit-down meal and you want a burger poolside or even a piece of pizza. And on some Royal Caribbean ships, they do have these specialty restaurants that are open at lunch, even on embarkation day, for a very reduced price. Eating only in the main dining room or the buffet. Now, this is a little bit of a mistake that I realized that we were making, because these days, especially on newer cruise ships, there are so many other food options before the standard buffet and the main dining room. In fact, the quick service options are just getting better and better. Now, as an example, Norwegian Cruise Line has the Indulge Food Hall. If you're a foodie and you enjoy tasting different types of foods, you will absolutely love it here. On Princess Cruises' newest ships, you can find freshly made shawarma and tacos, as well as salad stations all by the pool. And on MSC World America, there was a Mediterranean sandwich station, as well as by the main pool, grab-and-go burgers and hot dogs. And we cannot forget Carnival Cruise Line, that has amazing casual food options, including Guy's Burgers and Blue Iguana. Now, by the way, if you're planning a cruise and you want to make sure that you stay organized and that you do not forget a thing, I do have the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner. Now, the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner is a 47-page downloadable printable guide that will help you to stay organized with cruise packing lists, shore excursion planning forms, cruise outfit planning forms, budget planning forms, and more. And because it is downloadable and printable, you could print out only the pages that you need for as many cruises as you go on. Now, I'll leave all of the information for the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner down below in the description of this video, as well as a pinned comment in case you want to check that out. Cruise buffet mistakes. It is a mistake to go to the buffet and to not go to any of the freshly made stations. Now, I am talking about the freshly made omelets. These are really good in a buffet, and you definitely should choose this over the scrambled eggs if you can. You can also get Eggs Benedict. If you go during lunch, you will find stir fries, you'll find grilled meats, crepe stations, and more. Waiting too long to make specialty dining reservations. Now, specialty dining has become very popular, especially on the cruise ships where they are selling packages. So as soon as you book, and this is available, you will want to book your specialty dining. Now, I do have a little bit of a tip. If the time that you prefer is not available, I suggest that you book that dining anyway. And once it gets closer, you can always look to see if another time is available, or you can call the customer service line, or in some cases, they call it the dine line. And then once on board, you can also go speak to the maitre d', see if you can have that reservation time changed. Not taking advantage of specialty dining promotions and discounts. Now, before you go on a cruise, you are going to see that online several specialty dining restaurants might be on promotion. This happens on Royal Caribbean, this happens on Celebrity. That will sometimes have even 3 dining restaurants that are all part of the same package. But more recently, we are hearing from cruisers that are sharing that once they're on board the cruise ship, there are some specials as well. This includes on Royal Caribbean and on MSC that oftentimes have specials on the first day. And more recently, Norwegian Cruise Line cruisers have shared that once on board, they had 2-for-1 specials at some of these specialty restaurants. Not understanding the difference between traditional and flexible dining and what that means for reservations. Now, if you are somebody that does not want to wait at all and wants to have the same time to eat every single evening, you'll want to book set or traditional dining. This will give you dining either early at around 6 o'clock p.m. or late at around 8:30 p.m. And otherwise, you will book the open dining. However, there is an option to make reservations even within that flexible dining. If you do not make a reservation because you think, you know what, I want to play it by ear, that is absolutely fine. Oftentimes, I do that. But the downside of that is that you will have wait times. So this is something important to know. Now, speaking of dining times, it can be a mistake to not plan your dining times around your plans in the evening. Now, something that we started to do recently, because we know we actually like to linger at specialty dining or even the main dining room restaurant for an hour and a half or even sometimes 2 hours. We don't like to rush to get to the show. So something that we've been doing is actually going to the show at around 7 o'clock p.m. and then heading to dinner after at around 8 p.m. Just be honest with yourself with what you like best. And if you do have flexible dining, you can definitely switch this up from night to night. Not ordering room service because you think either it's going to be expensive or just not worth it. So here is a little bit of a secret. A couple of years ago, we had several cruise lines who actually changed the way room service worked, and it used to be included, and instead they started to charge extra. But most cruise lines do still include continental room service breakfast for free. And otherwise, they actually have a nominal charge, so it really isn't very large. Although some cruise lines do still include free room service at least most of the day. This includes Disney Cruise Line. This includes Holland America. This includes Princess if you do have one of the packages. And I can tell you, at least for me, one of the simple pleasures that I have when I'm on a cruise is ordering coffee as a little bit of a wake up, along with some danishes and some fruit from the continental breakfast menu. And yes, this is free or included, at least on most cruise ships. Ordering too cautiously on a cruise. You know what? On a cruise, whether you're in the buffet or even in the main dining room, this is your chance to try different foods. So give things a try, whether it is trying out the escargot or maybe an Indian dish or the lobster ravioli or maybe the lamb chops or even a different type of fish. This is the time that you can do it. And worst comes to worst, you send it back and they bring you something else. And for anybody who says, you know what, this is a waste of food, I'm not talking about trying out 5 or 10 different things. But this is all calculated into the cost of the cruise. And personally, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. And in particular, if you're cruising with kids, this is a great time to get them used to different foods that you probably wouldn't order at your local restaurant. Now, I know not everybody agrees with me on that, especially when it comes to children. So let me know either way what you think down in the comments below. Leaving dessert behind instead of taking it back to your cabin. Now, this is something that I just learned very recently when I asked in the LifeWell Cruise community for everybody's tips and tricks when it came to cruise dining. Well, some people shared that they actually ask for dessert to go and it will be plated up for them with a cover. And other people said that they bring the cheese plate back. Skipping the main dining room for breakfast or lunch. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do on a cruise, is actually to head to the main dining room for breakfast in particular. Oftentimes, there are going to be some things that are just not available at the buffet breakfast, and they are going to be available served. And the nice thing is that most of the time it is a pretty express breakfast. The same thing for lunch. While you will have a smaller menu that you have during dinner time, you do have a chance to be served. And if you have a port day where you kind of have all the time in the world, why not? Now I have 3 more, but I am saving one very big mistake for the end. And in this case, I think a lot of people think that they're going to save money by doing this, but it actually has ended up costing them money instead. Ignoring cruise dining etiquette in the main dining room and in the buffet. So something pretty important: if you have a reservation, show up on time. Now there usually is a 10 to 15 minute grace period, but after that, your dining reservation could be given away. And worse yet, when we talk about some extra charges that have been implemented over the last year, we actually have a couple of cruise lines that are now charging no-show or late charges. Now, other dining etiquette mistakes not to make is not being polite to your waiter, as well as the other dining staff, and for that matter, the other guests that might be at your table or even at the surrounding tables as well. Now, when it comes to the buffet, there are several etiquette mistakes, but I'll just mention a couple that are pretty important and not everybody knows about. But when you do go back for seconds or thirds, never bring back the same plate that you just used. Sometimes people do this because they think they're going to be a little bit more polite and they're not going to waste that plate, but it's actually unhygienic, so do not do this. And the other thing is, this should go without saying, but do not eat from the utensils. Do not grab food directly from the trays with your hands, and don't cut in line. Hygiene mistake, super important on a cruise. We often hear about how do illnesses spread on a cruise when we're all in close quarters. Well, one of the biggest ways that illnesses spread is that people are not actually washing their hands or using the hand sanitizer. So those sinks are there for a reason, and you definitely want to use them. All right, now this one is an important one. You definitely do not want to do this, trying to save money by bringing the food from the cruise ship onto shore. Now, this is a trick that you will hear people sometimes share. They say, you know what, why don't you make yourself a deli sandwich on the cruise ship and bring it onto the island? Or why not grab some fruit from the buffet in the morning time and bring it into the cruise port? Now, the reason you do not want to do this is that most countries actually have a rule against bringing vegetation, fresh meats, and cheeses. And doing so can actually get you fined $500 or more. And this has actually happened to people on a cruise, so this is definitely something you do not want to ever do. Now, I'm going to leave all of the information about the LifeWell Cruise Ultimate Cruise Planner down below in the description of this video, as well as a pinned comment. And if you are interested in a behind-the-scenes look at cruise dining, including how they handle allergies, I'm going to leave that video up next. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.